But now we have much more knee arthritis and hip arthritis, which is because we're carrying so much weight. You know that they lived a long time with that injury, and that likely means that they were taken care of. It is the clearest evidence of evolution that you can come across because there's just so much similarity between one animal and another. And if you were going to design different animals, why would you put all the same bones in the same sequence and just change the shape a little bit? It's remarkable. Like if you know the skeletal remain, if you know the bones of, a cat, a human, a pig, you'll see so many similarities. And actually, forensic anthropologists oftentimes use pig carcasses to do their experimental studies, like studies on, like if you take a knife and stab this pig, will it leave a mark on the bone? Yeah.
Why pigs?
Because they don't have fur and they're fatty. So it's just like us. We don't have fur and we're fatty. Some more fatty than others.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like when you're looking at the old bones, though, they had a better lack of a weight problem back then.
I'm sure they did.
Opposed to us now.
And one of the things that I did, one of my areas of research is on arthritis. So degenerative joint disease, right? And what we find if you look at patterns of arthritis is in the past, people had arthritis, like if you're looking at hunter-gatherers or, even early agriculturalists in the Americas, you see most of the arthritis is in the upper limb. And in the back, when you have arthritis in the backbones, like the vertebral column, that's almost always just age-related. They got it earlier than we do now, but the shoulder and elbow have much higher rates of arthritis in hunter-gatherer populations in the Americas than we see now in modern populations. But now we have much more knee arthritis and hip arthritis, which is because we're carrying so much weight.
Wow.
And so
that's painfully obvious.
Yeah. And so like these patterns, you can go from like 3,000 years ago to now, and you can see that really it wasn't until very recently that we got heavier.
Yeah, I always think about, you look at where medicine's gone even in the last 50 years, but go add 100 years to that, go 150 years back. If someone broke a bone and stuff like that, the types of remedies for that are not the same as they have now.
No.
If someone tears a ligament, well, I guess you just have a, weak leg for the rest of your life. And we see how easily this stuff happens. So as someone on my end, like I've had severe shoulder problems, right? I've had multiple surgeries on this side. I have to get another one on there. Now I got to get one on this side too. And I'm lucky to be able to have that resource because each time I've done it, it gets fixed very well. And then my dumb ass finds a way to hurt it again.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking about all the time, all these, like go back to the hunter-gatherers, as you just said. And you say they're getting arthritis in their elbows and shoulders because these people are climbing trees and shit.
They're throwing things.
They're throwing. Imagine if you're a hunter-gatherer back then at age 15, you just tear your labrum.
Yeah.
Now your shoulder's loose for the rest of your life. You can't climb stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You're biologically indominant compared to the other people around you. You're not as valuable to your tribe because you can't hunt as effectively.
Yeah.
But
in the same token, what's beautiful about it is that we have, dating back to even Neanderthals, evidence that people who were injured were taken care of. And so you have evidence of people who have limbs that were withered away, and that takes a long time. So if I now break something and I can't use that, then that bone is not going to remodel, and the bone loss continues, but it doesn't remodel. And so the bone will get narrow, it will get smaller, right? Withers away. And it takes quite a long time for that to happen. So if you see an individual that had that happen, you know that they lived a long time with that injury, and that likely means that they were taken care of.
Wow.
Especially if you, another example is,
Because they'd be left for dead otherwise. Yeah.
another example is that you'll see sometimes people who have lost all their teeth, and the bone in their jaw is even resorbed, or the tooth sockets are closed, right? This will happen if you lose your teeth. But it takes a long time. So if you have an individual who has lost all their teeth and their sockets are closed, then they were taken care of in some way, most likely. And so I think that this is a perfect example of, that humans have been looking after each other as well.
That's very cool.
We don't only fight, we sometimes get along. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to get to the fun stuff with you, because we've been going through obviously a lot of the things you've had to deal with. But when you talk about the research you've done, the stuff we've mostly gone through today has been a lot of, I guess, like North American type things you're looking at. But have you done research a lot around the world as well on ancient civilizations? What would you say the scope is?
I mainly have done research on Native American remains, but I have done a research on Quebec prisoners of war from like the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
The Carthage collection, which is the Byzantine Carthage, so 6th century, and then forensic collections. So the oldest thing I've ever done research on is about 2.5 million year old foot bone of what we call a Homo habilis